Hey guys, so I'm here to make a quick video just to hopefully show you a little bit on how to use Google Slides to make a coat of arms. Um, I want to say that if at any point I'm going too fast through any of the instructions or anything that I do, remember you can always just pause the video and rewind and see exactly what I'm doing. So let's jump on in. First things first, I want to use this blank page here, but I need to get rid of these text boxes. So I'm kind of just going to click there. I can right click and cut them out. I can also use the delete key themselves. But the important thing is to highlight them first. So now I have this blank page really to begin working on making a coat of arms. What I'd like to do is put in a shape. So if I come over here and insert all these different things, there are shapes. There's different things you can pick. If you want to use something that looks more like an arrow, something like this shape actually looks pretty cool. I like this shape a lot as well. Just from going through this, I'm going to pick this shape here. Now it changes my cursor, so I'm just going to kind of like drag it across to about something like, I don't know, maybe that. That looks okay. You know what, let's make it a little bigger. I can resize it. I can change exactly where it goes. And one thing that I like to do is center it on the page. So I'm going to kind of like drag it along here. And oh, there's one of them. And let's see if I bring it down there. Okay, I don't know if you guys saw that. It kind of shows me exactly where it's centered on the page. So that looks pretty good. All right, there's my original basic design. That's the shield I'm going to use for my coat of arms. So I've resized it. Now the next thing that I want to do is change maybe some of the colors on this thing. So the first thing I want to do is actually get rid of the shadowy fill. So again, coming over to these tools up here, fill color, I'm going to make it transparent. Transparent means it's see-through. So now it's a normal, regular background. The next thing I'm going to do actually, and I encourage all of you to do this, is right here. It says border weight. It's talking about the size of the lines. 12 is always a good number. I love 12. So now I've made the outside like lines like actually like really thick. And personally, this is just like my preference, but I really like that. It's also going to help me out a little bit later with a couple of the other like lines and things that I'm going to draw. Now, one thing that I want to do, having looked at other coat of arm designs, is try and customize this a little bit. And I want to split this into 4 quadrants. I want to split this into like 4 parts, like a top left, a top right, things like that. So I'm actually going to go back over here where these tools are and select a line. And I'm just going to kind of like draw it. Like you'll notice that it gives me some places to go from, which is great. It kind of like breaks it down for me on like where like the middle parts are. So I'm just going to start from this line and draw it all the way down and connect it to that line. And now I have a line there. But once again, it looks kind of silly because it's such a thin line compared to the border weight. So I'm going to click on it. And just like I did with the other one, I'm going to make it the same width. And so now it looks at least a little bit more uniform. I'll do the same thing again, drawing a line, and I'm just going to take it from here and go across there. Same thing, change the weight of the line, size 12. You can choose whichever size line that you want to. I like 12. I actually wore number 12 a couple times in like sports. So that's why I like number 12 so much. I'm just looking at this, and remember, you can adjust these lines too. Like I can bring this line a little bit more up, a little bit down. Yeah, you know what? I kind of like it there. I like it there. Right. So one thing we can do then is now start customizing the colors on our coat of arms, right? So it's kind of strange how we do this, because if I wanted to fill this in all one color, I could go to the fill color and I could pick, like if I wanted it to be red, now the entire thing is red. If I wanted it to be kind of like this strange sort of bluish color, I can click on that, but it makes all of that blue, or it makes it all red, whichever color that you chose. So I like to leave it as transparent. And if I want to use more than one color, there's an extra step that I need to take. And what I need to do is come back over here to these tools where it says text box. I'm going to click on it, and I have the drag feature again. So I'm going to try and go towards this top corner here and drag it all the way along to there and kind of like fill in this entire first box. And you know what? I can even make it a little bit wider there. Now remember, I can always like type on here. But actually what I'm going to do this time, once again, is kind of the same thing that I did before with this text box. I'm going to work on the different like fill colors and everything. So coming over here, and let's say I want to use, I don't know, I like this purple. Now what I've done by selecting that purple, like with the fill color, is just made that quadrant its own specific color. Okay. Now, again, you can kind of see there's a little bit of like problems there. So I'm just going to take this and drag it a little bit, make it just a tiny bit bigger. That's almost too big. But one thing that's beneficial of having those like really thick lines is they still give you a nice balance. Like they still actually like cover up like where the one is compared to the next box. Like if it was starting, it's kind of your preference on how you want to make it. Ultimately, obviously, this is your coat of arms, so it's how you would want it to be made. So I kind of like that. You know what? What I'm going to do is I like having the two colors be kind of like the opposite of one another. You know what? I'm going to change this color, though. I'm not really feeling the purple right now. I'm kind of feeling blue, like almost like an East Prairie. That looks pretty good. Yeah, I like that. So what I want to do is take this color and I want to make it here. But you'll notice that this isn't a traditional rectangular shape now. Like we've got some problems here. So the next step is we've got to get a little creative. And in order to do that, once again, I can make another text box and turn that into, this front part here where it goes to about there. We'll do the same thing. What was the color that I picked? This color? Yeah, that's the same color. Make it just a tiny bit bigger. Good. Now I've got just this kind of like triangular pattern here that I need to cover up. So how do I do that? How do I cover up that little bottom part? I'm going to go back to my shapes, find the right shape that I'm looking for, like a right triangle, for example. And what I'm going to do is just draw it out here, actually. We'll make it, I don't know, something like that. First things first, I can rotate this. So now I can try and fit it in to this area here. And I can make it wider like that. I can stretch it so it kind of covers across like that. And just like I've done with all the other ones, I can go to the fill color, select the same color, and we're almost done. You'll notice that there's kind of like some lines there and everything. So this time, instead of making the lines like really thick, what I'm actually going to do is go to this border color and turn them transparent. So no matter how thick that they are, I'm taking these borders, I'm making them transparent. And so it kind of like now blends in. Like you can kind of see it there. Like it all looks like one size. And I realize it's not perfect. I would need to go back and play with it a little bit more. But at the very least, that shows you how to do that. Obviously, if you want to customize it to your specific requirements, you'll need to take that time and go a little further and make it as flawless as you can possibly make it. Now, there's just about one more thing that I wanted to show you guys today, and it has to do with actually inserting images. As you go through and research your coat of arms, you'll find that a lot of different families, a lot of different people put animals into their coat of arms. We've probably already discussed this in class, but animals usually represent multiple different things like courage, bravery, wisdom, knowledge, things like that. So it's something that would be kind of cool to represent you in your coat of arms. I've gone ahead and already selected an image that I want to put in. It's this fierce lion. So I'm going to just take this guy, copy the image, and I'm just going to go ahead and paste him into my text box here. But the problem, of course, is the size of everything. So he comes up outside. Now, this is going to get a little interesting, right? So I obviously first have to reshape it so it fits into this quadrant right here. That looks like a pretty good shape, maybe a little smaller. Okay. And I'm going to just drag him in there. And he fits right in. But sometimes you will encounter a problem, and I want to make sure that you know how to fix that problem. Every so often, you're going to have something happen where you might drag in a picture, and the picture is actually hidden behind the blue. Now, you may have noticed what I just did there is I'm taking this text box that I've already colored in blue, and I'm right-clicking on it, going to order, and what I want to do is send it to the back. Okay. I want my colors to be sent to the back, and I want my images to be in terms of order. See, it's already brought to the front, so I can't even click on it. I want my images to be brought to the front. If my images are in the back and my color is in the front, then simply you don't see the image. It's not there. You can't see it. It's out of order. So you need to make sure your order is correct where you can, go ahead and see all those pictures that you want to put in there. Maybe I don't like the lion here. I can put it here. That works. Maybe I can make it smaller and put it like here and then have some like text underneath it. There's a lot of experimenting that you can still do to make your coat of arms as perfect as you want it to be. Just make sure that after you're done with all of this hard work, you turn in your coat of arms when you're finished. All right, I think that does it for this quick little tutorial. Good luck with everything. Obviously, you can always reach out and ask me questions. Enjoy making your coat of arms project, ladies and gentlemen.